Happy Wednesday. I was greeted by some that. It wasn't you, I know. It wasn't her this time, it was the big dog. So I'm thinking Jess and I have to go over our feeding schedule a little more. Not too much on the plate today. I'm just gonna run out, do chores. Later this afternoon, I want to ship those ewes that I pulled out last week that weren't pregnant, and then run over and load those lambs that I'm shipping to the I'm taking them all to the sale barn. Hopefully quiet day, but we will see. It's starting off to be a wonderful day. Chores are done, and I'm just in the finishing barn again, where we left off yesterday. I just wanted to show you kind of how I have my barn set up for the trailer, for when I back up the trailer to the door. This is something that we've kind of learned along the way. We learned it quite fast because there was a lot of domestic disputes between my husband and I trying to load lambs without a really good loading system. And through the years, I've been able to now do it by myself. And part of it is trying not to get too many at once coming in, because if you get one that turns around, you're kind of screwed because they all follow the bad one. We designed this just a wood ramp, and then we took little pieces of slat and made steps for them, kind of so they don't slip. If this was just plywood, they would slip if they poo or pee or whatever. So we'll back up the trailer to here, open the door, back up the trailer to there, and then I just use my Marwell gates panels here, and I do have a divider in the middle, and what that does is always keep everything really pinched together. For the most part, this thing is narrow enough that these finished market lambs are too big to turn around. Once you get them going the right way and they don't turn around, you're cooking with gas because they just keep going. The lambs will come in here. I'll try to get this shut, and then this is a little landing area for them, and then hopefully they have a hard time finding that little door because it's so little, right? And then they will follow, and the door will be open, so this will be a lot brighter. And the trick is having everything bright and lit up so there's no shadows. I think I talked about that before. And then they should go right in the trailer. This is key, is having a really good setup, especially to be able to do it by yourself. And I've just learned over the years, even if you can only get, 10 or 12 in here, get them in here, get them on the trailer, and then if you have to, if some of them have stopped, just shut the door on the trailer, bring more into here and more into your chute or your chase, and then open the door and let them in. So just take a few at a time, because you just don't want them to turn around and go back into their pen. So it's a nice looking group of lambs here. We're in the other barn where I'm going to be shipping my lovely ewes that did not conceive. So they're in this little pen right here. I've been having to feed pails of water because I didn't want to take up this whole pen. I desperately need this room because this side over here is quite tight for feeder space. They're okay because there's lots of feed, so they have all day to eat it, but at feeding time I don't like them piling onto each other. Like they kind of paw at each other. I don't like that. I like them to have everyone needs their own little space. So when I get these ladies out, I'm gonna actually open this up so they can kind of just wrap around between those two pens there. So, what are you kneeling for? Just doesn't, I'm not quite sure she wants to get up. That's a lot of boys. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey. Just gotta chew it, Abby. What are you doing? I didn't have to move too much. I just had to move this partial bale. so I'm gonna back up the trailer here, obviously. And then I'll show you kind of how I do it in this barn. So again, homemade, we took the exact same dimensions as the other one, but we made it a bit wider because some of my ewes are chubby. So I will get this in place, tie the bottoms, and maybe tie the tops. And then again, I have a divider here so they can't split it open. And I put these, I have a piece of my old system still here, so I keep this crowding tub just as a bend. Sheep, kind of a fun fact, when you're handling sheep, sometimes if they feel like they're turning a corner, they kind of think that they're gonna go back the way that they came. It's kind of a sheep behavior thing. So I kind of use their behavior to kind of design this, and it's been like life altering. So this has been a nice little hack, but I just used a piece of my old system that I had because I replaced it a couple of years ago with a new, I just got the whole package, and because I knew I could use this for something else. So sometimes you just reuse what you have, and this has worked really well, and I can use the big door. Before I kind of had it straight out here, and then I backed the trailer in the side door, but this has been working much, much better. So again, I'll run them through here, run them through the crowding tub, and then get them in here and probably shut that back guillotine gate so they're all here. And once the first one goes through, they all should follow. In theory, we will see. It's always easier to move sheep or lambs when you don't have a big group. And that's both on and off the trailer. Even when you're getting them off the trailer, they seem to go off the trailer better if there's less. Just to keep it, in the summer I always keep it on top of the trailer so it always stays with the trailer, but in the winter I don't like it getting all covered in snow and getting snow on that ball, and when it gets in the actual trailer hitch it's just a pain. So I like to keep as much as I can thawed off. An inch. There we go. Yes. So this is the little lock that I put in the receiver. What is that called? Receiver flap, so it locks it in. However, the key is corroded inside and it won't come out, so it's not one to use if you don't want it stolen. My chains I leave on the trailer already pre-crossed. The safety chains you want crossed. Probably 6 months ago I did get a new receiver because you, as well as my husband and everybody else, noticed the old ball was really, really loose. So we did buy a new one and it's much better now. It's trailer lights. Ooh. There. What I do now is actually check my trailer lights just because I'm not safe about a lot of things, but my trailer freaks me out. I don't know why. So I just turn on the hazards. And that one's working. Oh, now it's working. They're working, and they're working. All right. Okay, so I got it kind of backed up actually pretty perfect. I'll put a string down there. I've got a little hole that we drill down here to put string in. And down there. There. And then, so they'll be good. And then I'll just get everything up and the gates up and then load up my girls. Okay, so I got a string down there. Okay. So the ramp is secured to the trailer. The panels are secured to the ramp. Everything. I just like to double check to make sure that all the rods are in because sheep always seem to find where you forget to secure stuff. So now I just gotta open this. We have everything opened up for them. So I'm gonna grab that. I usually leave one gate to push them. I call it my herding gate. So between me and my herding dog, we should be able to push them out no problem. I'll get them in here. Once I get them all in here, I'll probably shut that last guillotine gate and then load them all as a group. Because I don't want the first one to go and the other ones not see her. And then she gets in the trailer and goes, well, where is everybody? Turns around and comes back out because I can't be there and there at the same time. So that's going to be my strategy. You have to outthink a sheep. I've figured out the way to load a sheep is to make them think it's their idea and to make them think that they're escaping you because I'm stranger danger to them apparently. Good girl. Nice. Okay. There you go. Where you go? Okay, now I just want to make sure they all have their RFID tags. You have it. Good. 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 And they're all in decent shape. Some are very large. Hello. You're an ottoman. You're an ottoman. I'm going to jump over here, open that gate, and hopefully they'll all go. Hopefully she's a good leader. I'm gonna just, because I want the lambs in here too, I'm gonna shut this inside door. Excellent. Lots of room, eh ladies? Yep. Good, let's get the lambs. I have a feeling this might be a redo. No, that's terrible. Oh my gosh, that's bad. All right, let's do that again. Well, it looks a lot straighter from this end, but we'll see what this end looks like. Ah! Is it good enough? It's better. That'll work. Now the ultimate test to see if I guessed right outside. Ooh, I think we're really close. Look at that. That's pretty amazing. I think I've done this too many times. Okay, so that wasn't picture perfect. And I got my workout, but sometimes I think if you just let sheep figure it out on their own, you'd probably save yourself a whole lot of stress. Time to go to the market. All right, I'm just getting home. And just gonna back up the trailer here. Redo. And I think I'm right on the marks. I'm ridiculous. Let's go see how I did. Pretty good. Not quite. My key broke. That's not good. I guess this is done. That is a nice job done. They did so well. That's typically not what happens. Usually I either have trouble loading. Well, I guess I did have trouble loading the lambs. So yeah, sometimes I can have trouble either loading or unloading or both. But they did really quite well. Sometimes it's nice dividing the trailer in half, having some in the back, some in the front. Usually the ones in the back kind of push out a little better because there's not quite as much room for them to turn around and go to the front. And then when you open that middle gate, the ones in the front have already seen the ones in the back go out. So then they just followed right along. So it was awesome. Shipping lambs to me is actually quite relaxing. I like the truck ride. It's not a very long drive. It's only about a 45-minute drive. Not even, 40-minute drive. I throw on a podcast and just kind of decompress. So I like doing it kind of this time of day, like 4 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock. Get home in time to just get stuff wrapped up in the barn. Instead of doing it like late at night or early in the morning, I'd rather do it this time of day. I want to get this stuff all kind of torn down and moved back. I was gonna open up this pen But Charlie just texted me and he said he had an opening tomorrow. So we're gonna shear those ewes that were scanned pregnant last week. The thing with shearing, it actually is quite chilly today. So when you are shearing these ewes, they are only on a maintenance program, maintenance ration, and which means their energy and protein isn't very high. So I really have to watch their intakes. You have to feed them more to keep warm in the winter if they're sheared. So I really have to watch their intakes and make sure they don't really speed up their feed consumption. So the good thing about Charlie coming, they're gonna lamb in about 8 weeks already, if you can believe that. So if I get this job out of the way, that means I can set up my hoof trimmer in a week or two and get the hoof trimming and the vaccinations done. I like doing that around 6 weeks before they lamb. So this is gonna work out good. He's coming tomorrow, so you guys will be able to watch us shear.